Okay, good morning. Welcome to Branxton 237 station up in the Hunter Valley. We're in between Maitland and Singleton. My name's Paul Scrace. I'm the captain of the station. I've been in Fire and Rescue New South Wales for 19 years, coming up 19 years now, and I think I've been captain of Branxton for about 10 years. Branxton's a pretty unique station. We're a community first responder station as well as a primary rescue station. We're fully retained. Retained means that we actually do this as a second job. Most of us are employed full time, and then on our time away from our primary employment we do retain. So we put ourselves on call, and when we get a job we attend the station on a call out basis, get the information and then respond to the call. The CFR component, which is Community First Responder, it's a program done in conjunction with the ambulance service because of the fact we don't have an ambulance station in our local area, so we respond to medical emergencies on behalf of the ambulance service. We're certainly not doing the work of the ambulance service. There's always an ambulance responder to back us up. It's just that we are able to attend the patient and the incident on a quicker basis than the ambulance service, it's excellent for the patient because we're getting that treatment and what they need quicker, which is a good thing for the patients, especially when they're in their time of need. Okay, I'll hand over to Bruce.
Good morning, my name is Bruce Stearns. I'm one of the deputy captains at 237. I don't have another job. I've since retired from my first employment, and so I just do this now as full-time work basically. The station is very busy and has a lot of needs and desires to fulfil. So yeah, I'm pretty busy. So yeah.
He's my right-hand man.
We get a lot of stuff done and yeah, enjoy the time in because it's a good thing to be involved with. It really is.
We do have a second deputy captain. He works full-time as well. He looks after a lot of the training component of the station when we're doing drills, and also does a bit of our Facebook page as well.
So I'll hand it to Amanda, who's got a novel story to tell.
Good morning, my name is Amanda Andrews. I've currently been with Fire Rescue for just over 4 years now. I also work full-time shift work outside of being a retained firefighter, and I joined, I really enjoyed pre-hospital care, so CFR was one of the biggest reasons for me to join and to be able to give back to the community. Yeah, that's my goal.
Okay, so we might just move out to our engine bay, have a look at our appliances and give a bit of a description of those, and then maybe take some questions. So with our station here we have two appliances. We've got our rescue pumper, which is the larger of the two. That carries all our rescue equipment when we attend motor vehicle accidents or any industrial or general rescue. And then we have our second appliance, which is a light tanker. So this one's slightly smaller. It's only carries 2 people, where the big appliance carries 6 staff. The light tanker we utilise for bushfires, grass fires, etc. But both appliances carry the identical medical kits that we require for the Community First Responder program. And depending on the call, we only need to have 2 CFR operators to attend the CFR call. So depending on the call, we might get 2 CFR operators in the light tanker, get them on the road as quickly as possible to get them to the patient for that treatment that they desperately need. So that's what we do with our 2 appliances. Our rescue pump, it's also set up for any house fires. Maybe an accident been waiting to happen there, unfortunately. Okay. Alrighty, so yeah, as you can see, we take a lot of pride in what we do. Our appliances are well looked after by our 2 engine keepers. It's a bit of a competition between them as to who's got the best appliance. But it's yeah, we do take a lot of pride. We are retained firefighters because we want to. We certainly don't get paid like we do with our permanent jobs. So that's not the motive for us to do what we do. We enjoy it. We have a great station here. We all get on very well. We work well together, and we get a lot of pride and satisfaction out of helping the community and doing it for those sort of purposes. So we might try and have we got any questions, Tash?
Yeah. So what's an interesting CFR call that you've perhaps had?
Okay, well we had one, unfortunately a lot of CFR calls are fairly traumatic, and we do go to fairly serious ones where it doesn't end up a good result for some patients. They unfortunately do pass away, but we had one Sunday week ago, 2 weeks ago, where Amanda actually delivered a baby on the side of the road, which is a very exciting job to go to. So Amanda might give us a little bit of a spiel on that one.
So 2 weeks ago today, we had a 6 a.m. phone call for a lady that was on the side of the road giving birth. So by the time we got there, Mum was already out on the road, on the ground, and quite in labour. And we just got to work, and Dad was already on the phone to New South Wales Ambulance, and they just talked through everything that we had to do, and Bub's come out within 10 minutes, safe and sound, and then the ambulance pretty much got there just as Bub's was delivered. So that was pretty much my, we do a lot of exciting calls. We get some really good ones. Sometimes we just feel great that you're helping the elderly in the community. Sometimes I know we've had a phone call where unfortunately the ambulance were pretty tied up, and we're about an hour and a half, and it's just nice to be able to sit there and have a cup of tea and have a good chat with the elderly. But definitely the delivery of the baby was the icing on the cake for me in my 4 years.
And we've had a question about how do I become a retained firefighter, and is there a difference in being a retained firefighter to a permanent firefighter?
Well, yes, a permanent firefighter is obviously it's a permanent job, and you have to apply through for either job. I think it's through Jobs New South Wales or similar website to that. With retained, it goes on what the requirements of each station are. You have to live within the vicinity of the station. So you can't live like half an hour away or anything like that. You have to live relatively close to the station, because when we get a call, our appliances are usually on the road within 10 minutes to a call. So we have to, that's the idea of it, we're responding as quickly as possible. And we do have a guarantee of service, Fire and Rescue New South Wales, that if you call us, then we're going to be responding. So being retained, if you are interested, then go on to Jobs New South Wales, have a look whether the station you live near is listed on there, and then you can go through the recruitment process online. And any other, if you're thinking of about it, go on to Fire and Rescue New South Wales webpage. They have a lot of information on there in regards to both permanent and retained that you'll be able to find out all about it.
We've got a question. What is your favourite piece of equipment on the truck, and why?
I actually like cutting up cars when we go to a motor vehicle accident. It's a challenge, and it's quite an interesting thing for us to do. Amanda, what's yours?
Mine is definitely the rescue equipment as well. Probably the jaws of life. It is very satisfying to know that you're helping someone in need, and it's really good to get your hands on the tools.
Yeah.
Can you walk us through the process of how you get a call and then how you respond to station?
Yep. Okay, so we get a call. It comes through either our mobile phones, or if some of us have pages as well. Once we get that call, We then respond to the station in our private vehicles, and the first person into the station, we have a video screen connected to our call-out system, which will tell us the information of the job, and then we get a printout as well. And then once we're in the appliance, especially the rescue pump, we have a screen on there that gives us all the information with regards to the call as well.
Okay. Somebody has asked for some tips for anyone who is interested in becoming a retained firefighter.
Yeah, as I've said before, just go on to Fire and Rescue New South Wales webpage, look into, there's a retain section there, and also Jobs New South Wales, and see if the station that you are interested in inquiring about is listed, and then go through the process there.
Yep. So we've got a question here. How do you balance being a retained firefighter with everyday life?
You might take this one here.
It can be quite challenging at times, depending on the hours of work that you do outside of fire rescue. But it's all about, I find it's all about organisation. So you just need to make sure that you're organised and you sort of have a bit of a routine, you know what you're doing for the week. And it's not too bad. It can be pretty easy if you have a good balance of life and work, I find.
You need the support of your family as well.
Definitely.
Your partners, wives, husbands, children, because they're like our silent partners. They don't actually get called out, but when the phones go in the middle of the night, they get woken up and then we disappear, and then they start wondering, they don't know where we're going to. So you need the support of your family, and it is a juggling act. There's a lot of disappointment where, you know, I know my wife loves to go to the movies, and sometimes I say, look, I'm on call, I can't go. Well, it is a juggling act, but we've all got the support of our families, which is a big thing, and it makes it a lot easier for us to be able to juggle that.
Yep.
Definitely.
We've got a question. How many people at your station, and can they all drive the truck?
Yep, we have 19 positions here at Branxton. We currently have 16 on the books, and we've got another 3 going through the recruitment process. As part of the training, initially you can't drive the appliances, but there is training packages. So as you gradually go through the retained system, you'll gain those skills as time goes on. But as it stands, the majority of our firefighters can drive both appliances.
Yeah. What type of fires do you attend the most?
Lately, it's been backyard burns and rubbish burns. People, I think they believe now that the fire season is finished, that you can just burn things off. Unfortunately, we live in a council area that don't like you doing that under the Clean Air Act. So that's why they get supplied green rubbish bins. But that's the majority of the calls we've been going to lately, is just people burning off rubbish in the backyards.
Yeah. So going into winter, do you have any tips for your community on how to stay safe?
Yes, certainly. Winter is, in the past there has been an increase of fires in winter, especially house fires, because people have obviously got the heaters going, wood fires, electric blankets. Just be diligent, make sure that your, especially your open fires, that you've had the chimneys clean, they're well serviced. Don't leave heaters on whilst you're asleep. So just be careful and mindful. Oh, and of course the smoke alarms. Make sure you have working smoke alarms. That is most important, because they are designed to wake you up whilst you're asleep if there is a fire. So make sure they're working.
Perfect. And then we just have, would I need a fire permit if I wanted to have a backyard fire?
It all depends where you are. If you're in fire rescue district, you're generally in residential, so you have to check the requirements of the local council. And if they're okay with it, yes, you would need it.
And we have a question from New Zealand. What's the difference between a retained firefighter and a volunteer firefighter?
Retained, we get paid a wage, and we're actually employees, so there are certain requirements. We have to guarantee that we turn up to so many calls, turn up to so many drills, so we have different responsibilities to volunteer.
All right. Is there anything else you guys would like to add?
I don't think so.
No.
Appreciate the time to do this morning. We understand that COVID sort of knocked a few things around, especially with our open day, but we appreciate the opportunity.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.